Thank you for joining me today. Thanks for tuning in. If you are as confused as I am with all of the immigration orders, who's at risk, who's not, the different terminology, what's happening with ICE as we hear it in the news, then please stay tuned. I'm going to review some terminology to know, also a little bit about the ICE orders and what you can do to support undocumented immigrants as an ally. So please stay tuned. A quick reference about immigration terminology and what you should know a little bit. So basically, green card, we'll start with that. That's a term for legal residence here in the United States. So, and it is permanent. 3 to 5 years with their green card, an immigrant can apply for their permanent citizenship. Legal immigrants are people that have applied to be here and are on some sort of visa to remain in the United States, either for education or otherwise. And someone that is termed to be illegal can also have protection while here, and that usually is when a person is granted refugee status or asylum. So I live in San Antonio, Texas, and this puts me in very close proximity to Mexico. San Antonio's congressman, Joaquin Castro, was one of the few Latinos that was allowed into the meeting with the ICE director. ICE, by the way, stands for the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And so he was one of the few Latinos invited into this meeting. And from what he gathered from the meeting last Thursday was that pretty much no one is safe when it comes to these new orders. It was leaked out. There was hints of a mass deportation leaked in the form of a draft that was put out into the media. The only undocumented Americans that will be protected somewhat are those that were former recipients of Obama's DACA program. DACA standing for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. However, in San Antonio, in fact, there was a San Antonio teen, he was 19 years old, that was arrested and released 2 days later. What immigration rights activists fear is that the county jails are feeding information to the ICE officials. What these ICE orders will do is tear families apart. There is an estimated amount of 9 million people living in families with an undocumented parent. We have to stay informed. We have to check and tune in and stay abreast of what is happening in the news with these orders. I've listed my resources and references in the description box below. Make your office or your sessions a safe place for all. Even going as far as placing a sign or showing that you are an ally for undocumented Americans. Create a club or reach out, create a group, a club if you work in schools. Also identify role models that might be undocumented Americans to support and guide your clients. Drop the I word. We don't want to use the word illegal at all. We want to switch over to the term undocumented Americans to show our full support and to show that we are allies. And a way that I have personally supported an undocumented American that happens to be a client of mine is by writing a letter. This would be a immigrant reference letter. So what this is it's kind of like a character reference letter, and I've attached a PDF file to my letter below just so you can look at a template. You want to make sure that you are using official introductions, explaining who you are as a social worker, how long you've worked with the undocumented American that may be your client, friend, coworker, whoever it may be. A little bit as to their character, their family values, and then closing with as many compliments and positive characteristics of the person that you're writing about. I'm hoping this helps in some way to give you tools and resources in order to support and become an ally. Whatever happens in the next 4 years, as social workers, we are obligated to stand together against ignorance, hate, and fear that's being spread in our social climate today. Thank you for being social workers. Thanks for watching today. If you have any other suggestions, please comment below.